their base could be between 50 to 70 lakhs. When you come from a tier 2 or tier 3 college, you are kind of used to rejections. I didn't want to be data analyst when I was at college.
What is the complete interview process of Booking.com for the data analyst role?
And asking data structures and algorithm question doesn't make sense for a data analyst. It doesn't. Yeah. Booking does give a lot of perk, like a lot of.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So I am back with another amazing, really informative and really inspiring podcast for all the aspiring data professionals and my lovely data community. And this podcast will be the confidence booster for all the aspiring data analysts and business analysts, because today I will be having a discussion with Souvik Banerjee, and he is currently working as a data analyst in one of the big names in travel and hospitality domain, that is Booking.com, and that too in Amsterdam. And his journey is also very motivating, like coming from a non-CS background and then worked for the analyst role in different companies like Urban Company, then Wing, and now working at Booking.com. So in this podcast he will share his entire experience, like seeking the job opportunities outside of India, cracking these kind of big companies for the data analyst role, the entire preparation thing, and even including the interview experience of Booking.com. Compensation analysts are getting in companies which are outside of India. So that is something which will completely blow your mind. So make sure you hear the compensation details as well. And also make sure to like this video in big numbers so that we can help other aspiring data professionals. And if you are new to my channel and liking these kind of videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. Guys, I have one really important announcement to make, and especially for those folks who belong to the non-tech background but want to move into the IT industry for the tech role, that too in the data domain. So if your journey is in the same direction and you are dreaming for the good companies, then Coding Invaders by Mentors Pro can definitely help you. So Coding Invaders is the most safest platform and exclusively made for those folks who want to change their career from non-IT to IT as a data analyst. And why data analytics is important? Because this is the first step towards the job profiles like the data science, data engineering and machine learning. So the time window for this course will be 8 months, where everything will be taught from the scratch, and this will be an entire project based learning and continuous one-to-one mentorship. And after completing this 8 months course, guaranteed job with average hike of 30-40%. And even it is mentioned here that they will return your money if you don't get a job. And so far they have helped more than 20,000 students to move from non-IT to IT as a data analyst. And here you can see the feedbacks from these students as well. And the special thing is that all these folks actually belong to the non-IT fields like the sales manager, maths teacher. I have provided one special link in the video description. You can definitely use it, and you can mention this special code Shashank during your counseling call, so you will be getting some extra benefits. These will be the things where they will be focusing more Python, your Excel, MySQL and the data analytics using Power BI. So daily you will be getting unlimited one-to-one mentoring, and there will be continuous webinars with the industry experts so that you can learn from their real world experience as well. Their placement record is 93% so far, and they are increasing it on day by day. You can even get a personalized help from the mentors or a one-to-one video call. And again, this will be a pure practical based learning. You will be actually working on real world use cases which you can even showcase in the interviews, and your assignments will be handpicked by industry leaders who are working in these companies. So what are you waiting for? I have provided a special link in the description. Use this code Shashank in your consultation call and get some extra benefits. So thank you so much, Souvik, for joining my podcast. And again, I'm really excited to have a discussion with analysts, and most of the folks were waiting on my channel for these kind of podcasts where I'm bringing more data analyst folks, and that to companies like Bookings.com. So it would be really great, Souvik, if you can introduce yourself, your academic background, or anything related to your past professional experience.
So my name is Souvik, as you have already mentioned. Okay, so academic, I did my BTech in electrical and electronics engineering, which have no relation with what I do now. And as a professional background, I would say I started as an intern at Urban Company, and previously it was Urban Club, and worked over there for almost, I would say, 2 years, I would say, yeah. And then after that, I thought about let me switch and try something else. So I joined Wing. And then after going to Wing, I kind of saw a trend that kind of like data analytics and data science, how it is in India. So I thought about giving it a try and applied like outside India, and got 3-4 offers, and then decided to join Booking because Amsterdam was like, it's a really nice place, because I have friends also over here. So they told me that, yeah, Amsterdam is better. So I had option of either going to Amsterdam, Berlin or Dubai. So between Berlin and Amsterdam, I was like, Amsterdam is better because of the language and everything. Like, actually, I thought about changing. So first, I got 2 offers in India. Then I decided, okay, I have offers. Let me go and try, because I have a couple of friends who are working in like Amsterdam and Berlin as well. So I thought about, why not? Let me also try, because I had no plans of doing masters. So that, the other way is that you go and do master from US or from Europe or from wherever you want to, and then you go and work. But I didn't had a plan like that. I was like, let me go and try. Like, the worst thing could happen is like I would be rejected, which is like, okay, when you come from a tier 2 or tier 3 college, you are kind of used to rejections from very early when you started your career. So yeah, that is like that. Yeah,
folks coming from the non-CS background, definitely preferring this data related profile, be it the data science or ML engineering, data analyst and business analyst, which is good to see. And your background is also same. So I'll move on to this next question. Like, you did your graduation in electronics. So after your college, how did you decide to pursue your career as a data analyst, and how did you get your first job as well?
So yeah, being very honest to you, I didn't want to be data analyst when I was at college. The reason that I joined and I opted for electrical and electronics was that I thought about that I should do engineering, which is more of a hands-on and like not coding. So that was the thought. If I talk about like when I was in my class, like +2 and +1, which is in 11th and 12th, I thought about it. But when you go to college and then when you see around you, it's like a continuous learning path, right? You interact with your seniors. So I would give like a lot of my learning that I had when I was in college, like all the credit goes to my seniors, because I was kind of like joined couple of societies, and because of that I had friends who were seniors, and you can go and talk to them because they have experience of like what you were supposed to do in next 2 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be in the electrical thing because the market is not that good. So I thought about some other things, which is basically I thought about going for consultancy and all. Then also I realized when you are in tier 2 or tier 3 college, being a consultant is a very difficult thing to do, right? Because college actually mattered for non-technical jobs. But then I learned about data science from a very good friend of mine. So basically he was a web dev, and then he switched to machine learning and data science. So I learned from him, and then I started doing a couple of courses from Coursera, because you can do everything for free, and YouTube. And then that is it. I learned it, and then I started applying for internship. I did a very, very weird internship when I was in my 3rd college, but then I thought about, I have to find something better. In 4th year, I actually started applying for it, and then I got it as an internship at 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. And then I really liked the culture and everything, so I worked really hard, and they gave me a pre-placement offer. So that is how my journey started. And another major reason is that because I wanted to be a consultant, so the reason that I choose data analytics, because I wanted to be close to business.
Okay.
So I wanted to understand like close to business, marketing or product, whatever you want to do. Because at 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I was working with the marketing and growth team. At Wink, I worked with the product team, and here I worked with the marketing and as well as business team. So that is what I always wanted to be like connected to the non-technical team. So
obviously something which can motivate, and you can let me know in the comment section as well if you are coming from non-CS background, what you are preferring, pure software development profiles or anything related to data science. Let me know in the comments. Like, you have worked for amazing tech companies in India like Urban Company and Wink as a data analyst. So what are the day-to-day activities of a data analyst, and do their work falls in pure technical role as well? Because under the umbrella of big data, there are lots of profiles, business analyst, data analyst, and other job profiles. And because of the reason, there is a lot of confusion as well. Although in the previous answer, you mentioned that you closely work with the business, you love interacting with the business. So, but still I want you to elaborate your day-to-day activities.
Yeah. So if I would tell you, so when I was hired as a business analyst intern. So I joined as a business analyst intern. Then they gave me a offer of data analyst, and then after that they thought about, because I was working closely with the growth team. So then they thought about like, let's rename this profile to a senior growth analyst or something like that. So I would say, they change the names. So let's say if you work closely with the product team, sometimes they will say you're a product analyst. But at the end of the day, you are an analytical person, and if like whichever the team you are working with, they will probably name you as a marketing analyst, data analyst, product analyst or data scientist or whatever it is, right? But at the end of the day, what is that? You are helping them with the insights, like, make better decisions. And by that way, you are using some tools which is like more of like technical tools. In my first company, I use Python. In my second company, I use Python and Scala, which is in Wink. And over here, there is no Python and Scala. I'm only working with PySpark.
Okay.
Because they don't have Python and anything. So, right. So, technical knowledge, you will, like, once you know one programming language, you can learn any of the programming language. It doesn't matter, right? So, yeah, technicalities you can learn, but learning about the business, learning about the questions that you have to ask, learning about when you analyze the data, when you analyze the trends, and then giving them 2-3 key things that they have to do, right? That is the major part of being a analytical or a data science person. So second thing is basically most of the people do is basically they learn about machine learning, everything. That is like purely machine learning things, which is kind of like an engineering thing, right? But when you get into data science or data analytics, it becomes more of giving insights out of the data. Like you have very huge amount of data. But what am I going to do with the data? It doesn't make sense. I can go and look through 5, 7, 8 different metrics and say this is happening, that is happening. So yeah, there's a very nice book which is called as Data and Noise. I think anyone who wants to be data analyst or data scientist, just read the book and then you will understand like what actually does mean for being a data analyst or a data scientist, where you have to give key insights, you have to give key strong points out of all the things that you have worked on. So
okay. And any of you, let's say who you also belong to same profiles, analyst profiles, and if you have a different opinion for the day-to-day activities of an analyst person, put it in the comment section. I would love to see your experience, your thought about the analyst profile, and other folks can also learn from your experience. Now you are settled in abroad, right? That too in Amsterdam. So working for one of the best product-based company, you can say Booking.com as a data analyst. So can you share like how did you get the interview calls from outside India? This is also one of the like often asked question, that how we can apply outside India, whether they will shortlist our profile or not, right? And also, what is the complete interview process of Booking.com for the data analyst role? Like how many rounds, and each round, what kind of things the interviewer will be focusing on? Because it can help the folks who are preparing for the companies like Booking.com. It will give them a very clear idea how this entire process will go on.
How to get call from big tech companies? It's just simple. Apply. That's it. I've never had in my life had a referral from anyone. So I didn't get referral for Booking.com for any other companies. I only had I only asked for a referral when I wanted to apply for Google, and which I did, but I didn't make it into it. So yeah, it was a good experience, but I've never asked for referral from anyone. The simple thing that I do, I apply. Okay. That's it. Once you apply, you will get rejection, but yeah, rejection is part of the life, right? You should apply, and then let's say you'll apply to 100 companies, you'll get call from 4 or 5 of them. The conversion percentage is mostly 5 to 10%, right? And then yeah, about the interviews, you have to clear it. And now going back to the interview process at Booking.com, it was really nice because over here at Booking, I understand that why it was like that. First round definitely from the recruiter, and then there will be a round with the hiring manager. He will ask you about your works and everything. He will ask you for your, let's say, basically which type of project have you worked on, and probably ask you a case study or something like that to understand that if you are a person who can actually think about it or not. And then there are 2 craft rounds, and then there is 1 fit interview again, and then that's it, you will get an offer.
And what will happen in that craft round? What kind of thing a candidate can expect?
That is totally depend upon which team you have applied for, because every team have their different way of judging the type of craft that they wanted, right? So because it could mostly probably be like questions depending on your stats knowledge, like how, can you tell me that what is a good p-value? Can you tell me that if I am I am actually preparing for an experiment, what is exactly the power that I should look for? How much population that I should go and explore it? Because Booking.com have a very big culture of experimentation. We experiment every day, every time we run experiment for even for 100 days, 125 days, everything have to go through the experimentation. So there will be a lot of questions on the experimentation, everything. Basically, data analyst is over here is a mid role. It's not like a junior role. Junior role is a reporting analyst, and I don't know how was the interview at junior analyst, but for data analyst or for data scientist, this is what they typically ask, because you have been shortlisted by the time where you have mentioned your GitHub profile, you have mentioned that you are working for a good company, right? You have mentioned that you have an experience of 2 years or 3 years. They expect that you have technical knowledge, right? Yep. If you don't have it, then definitely all of them have provision period, and then
You go away. It's simple.
Yeah. You know how to do code. You know how to learn how to write codes. And asking data structures and algorithm question doesn't make sense for a data analyst. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. It's like
lots of folks who are watching this video would be really happy to hear this.
Yeah. So no. It's like I was part of hiring a team at 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 and as well as at Wink. We never asked data structure algorithm questions because a data analyst or a data scientist never supposed to write big complex architecture systems. What I'm going to do with binary search or whatever it is, I'll definitely look for a package which can help me with that, right? Because I'll save my time. So data structure and algorithm doesn't make sense. It's good to have a knowledge of that.
Folks who are watching this video, you also appeared in any of the recent analyst related interviews for product based companies. Feel free to put your interview experience as well so that we can know more about different company interview experiences. And I think now we are all on the same page that DSA is not the mandate thing for the analyst profile for sure. So shift your focus towards the actual case studies and the things related to analytics. Souvik, now next question is more related to the work-life balance, since you have been in India, worked for Indian companies, and now they're in abroad working for the booking.com. So what is the different you have observed in terms of the work-life balance, and also is there any major difference in company perks as well, comparing Indian companies and the companies outside India?
Yeah. Booking does give a lot of perks, a lot of things that you can think about, how is this even possible? They give it to you for free, so which is really nice. And because I had worked at a startup and then Wink Music, which is part of Airtel also have really nice perks. So basically, you get into a product-based company, you will have perks. Some companies will give you some perks that you cannot never imagine, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's totally up to you if you really like working over there or not. Almost all the companies will give you some kind of same type of perks, like free lunches and free goodies and everything like that, right? Snacks and coffee and all, subsidized products and everything, right? But yeah, now about the work-life balance, I would say in that case, so Europe is known for its work-life balance, right? So it doesn't matter whichever company you join, Europe in itself have that way of having good work-life balance. But another good thing about booking.com is that it actually gives you an opportunity, so where you actually make your self-development plan. Now where you have an option of you wanted to go and get this promotion, so you can go and work towards it. Or let's say you wanted to give more time to your family, so then you can choose for I wanted to work for 4 days a week. You can also do that.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's totally up to you which type of thing that you wanted to do in your life. So it's in that case, it's up to you. Some days I feel I wanted to work till 7 or 7:30, and some days I'm okay, it's sunny outside, let me go and enjoy, go to a cafe and then enjoy, and I'll leave the office at 4 or 4:30.
You should listen this part, right? Analysts making good money, joining good companies, having awesome work-life balance. So this is the life. So make sure you are also getting interested for the analytics profiles. In very crisp sentences, I want to know this answer. Let's say someone preparing for the product-based companies for the data analyst role, then what should be the correct roadmap for it? Based on your experiences, that hey, these are the 5-6 top things you need to prepare and bang on, you will crack any of the good product based companies.
Before that, I would just wanted to share one more thing which is I think important for everyone, whether a data scientist or data analyst or let's say software developer or anything. So I remember when I was in my second year, I was part of the the placement cell thing, right? So there was this company which is called as 𝗵𝘂𝗃𝗲, and 𝗵𝘂𝗃𝗲 give good packages to tier 3 colleges, and which is not actually good package once you think about it. So I was really optimistic about I wanted to join. So I tried to so there's the basically recruiter which came to our college for obviously for the interviews. He was ex MSIT. He is from MSIT, so he is still working. So I simply asked him what do you same question, if I wanted to be 𝗵𝘂𝗃𝗲, what should I do? And what are the things I should learn? What are the things I should focus on? Because I have 2 years to prepare for that. So he just asked me, he just told me simple one thing, which is like, what happened when you are in college and when you are like working as well, you don't use your brain that much. So if let's say when you work as well, when you write code and when you, let's say, analyze, you are doing it and you're doing it for every day, right? So your brain is basically, it's used to it. It is not learning that fast when you're doing it. So he told me that just try to read a book almost every day.
Okay.
Like every day, it doesn't matter, 5 pages, 10 pages, doesn't matter. And also you have to choose your book, which book you wanted to read. So yeah, first thing is that if you want to be a data guy, right, read books about product, business and data.
Okay.
Right, that is the first thing. Second thing is definitely learn some technical skills, which is Python, or Python is good enough. I didn't know SQL when I joined Urban Company. I learned SQL over there. So learn one programming language which you are actually good at it, not like really amazing at it. Like you can build Django apps or everything like that. It doesn't have to, but you understand the code. You can write the code and you can Google and do things. Right. That is the second thing. And third thing, like being a data analyst or data scientist, you have to go and talk to people. That is the good part about it, right? You have to interact with other people. You have to go and talk to the product manager, talk to the business person, talk to other people. Share your insights with like senior management stakeholders, which are like VPs, SVPs, something like that. Share your knowledge with them. Learn more things from them. So and after that, I think it is good to go then where you should learn how to basically do case studies, and the best way to do is basically start learning how to like create structured trees out of everything. So once you have learned that, which is basically getting strong at solving case studies, and you are good to go. You can actually crack almost all the interviews, I would say. It would not be that difficult once you have.
And what about pro level thing in the SQL data visualization? Is it also mandatory?
I am just sharing my experience. I don't know what other companies does, but I have been interviewed to very different type of like companies and everything. So I have like never been asked very complex SQL question, which is like. Okay. I've never asked that, so I don't know. It's like they always ask basic things which are needed to get done in the like. Obviously, Google had asked me some very complex things, but I don't know is it needed or not. So I had never been asked like very complex SQL or let's say Python or visualization questions.
And the data visualization, does it come under your day-to-day activities, or it's just sometimes?
We use Tableau. So sometimes let's say if we need a dashboard that have to be in Tableau, then we go and build it. But it's not a day-to-day thing. Day-to-day thing over here, what I do is basically I kind of write code in PySpark. And when I was at Wink Music, I was writing code at Python or sometimes Scala. And when I was at Urban Company, it was mostly SQL or Python. Like visualization, like you will have some projects where you have to go and build a dashboard.
One last question, and that will be the wrap of our entire podcast. So at your experience level, what is the average pay scale for the data analyst outside India? And since you have worked here in India as well, Indian companies, if you can provide that stat as well, like some range, that would be also helpful for the audience.
So about the pay, I would say it's mostly for data analysts over here at probably I would talk about in Amsterdam and Berlin. A person can get between like a data analyst with a 2-3 years of experience, right? Not like a fresher. They can easily get between, their base could be between 50 to 70 lakhs.
Wow.
That totally depend upon your interview, right? And on top of it, there will be some bonuses, like that totally depends upon also companies to companies. But you can get at least 5 to 10 lakh rupees as a joining bonus, and then some companies have performance bonuses, which is basically you get 10 or 15% of your base as a performance bonus. And then stocks also, it depends upon which company you have joined and how much stock that they're offering to you. But yeah.
Like in total, the target CTC can be like between 1 to 1.2 CR.
Like it totally varies between companies to companies, right? Some companies have stock, some companies don't have stock. But I would say not 1.2. 1.2 is actually too much because the lower end is always 50 lakh, right?
Between 80 lakhs to 1 CR.
I would say 75 to 1 CR you can easily get. Yeah.
Okay, this is a big number from the data analytics perspective. So I think yes, outside India definitely I always say that you shouldn't compare the compensation which you are getting in India and then outside, because they follow the things according to the brackets
but a lot
and
of
other things.
And a lot of things change, which is basically you pay a lot of tax, right?
Correct.
And second is your like the renting is a very big component over here when you live, which is like very, very huge, which is basically per month you can pay.
Cost of
You have
living,
to pay.
yeah.
Cost of living is very high. So you cannot compare it with India. And then also like basic things which are like you think which are very basic, which are not, which is basically getting a domestic house help, right? Ordering food all the time from outside. So these are the things that you have to miss. Like it doesn't matter which country you live in, whether Europe or US, but these are the things that you have to kind of you have to sacrifice. So yeah, because so it's like then in this case like your basic, we talked about like your coding skills and everything, but your basic your like living skills that are really needed when you are living outside, because you'll not enjoy the compensation, you'll not enjoy the European life if you're not having the basic needed things that you needed at home to be done, right? So yeah. But yeah, it's so I would say if anyone was thinking about going out and working, I would say they should focus about only two things, which is like first definitely getting like a very like working with very diverse team, which is basically people from all different countries, and you'll actually interact with them, and that is a very big learning curve, right? Big learning curve that will happen in your life. And second is, yeah, obviously come here for the life, enjoy it, enjoy the weather, enjoy the cities, enjoy the people, enjoy the vibe. So yeah, these are the two important things when you're thinking about going out and working.
But I think you have given the fair idea about the pay scale as well, and that can also motivate a lot of folks who are watching this video. So this is good. The main end goal is to motivate you so that you are doing your hustle to get into the good companies. So thank you so much, Souvik. I think this was really informative, and again covering something for the analyst profile is something my audience was looking for. So this thing will definitely help them, and the entire interview experience you talked about related to booking.com and your experience being from a non-CS to data analyst. So this is really great, and a big thank you from my side and from the entire audience.
Yeah, happy to always talk about life experiences. Yeah. It was really nice talking to you.
So that's what I had for you guys in this podcast. I'm pretty sure you would have enjoyed this one and every information which has been provided. And if yes, you find it informative, then make sure to like it and share it with your friends. So hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. And I will see you guys in the next weekend with another amazing podcast. Till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.